Let me ask you something. How many times today or yesterday did you feel guilty? Was it when you snapped at the kids because you were exhausted? Was it when you let them watch an extra show so you could finally drink your coffee hot? Was it when you sent store-bought cookies to school instead of homemade? Here's the thing. None of those are actual crimes. Yet, mom guilt swoops in and makes us feel like we've committed a felony. And I want to tell you something bold today. Mom guilt is lying to you. It's not proof you're a bad mom. It's proof that the world has been feeding you garbage rules about what motherhood should look like, and you don't have to believe them anymore. If you're here for perfection, you're in the wrong place. I'm Melanie O'Reilly Rogers, aka Not Defined by Motherhood. I'm here to show you that you don't have to lose yourself to be a good mom. Over here, we talk about the hard, messy, and sometimes unpopular parts of motherhood. I'm going to help you feel validated, hopeful, and less alone in this wild journey. So go grab your favorite current dopamine hit and let's start digging. Mom guilt is that voice in your head that tells you you're failing no matter what you're doing. But here's the truth. Guilt is supposed to be useful. Healthy guilt is like a compass. If I yell at my kid and it clashes with my value of kindness, guilt helps me realize I need to repair. That's productive. But mom guilt isn't that. It's guilt for things that aren't moral issues. It's guilt for frozen pizza, guilt for daycare drop-off, guilt for non-organic food, guilt for being tired. That's not guilt. That's conditioning, and it's lying to you. There are a few big sources of mom guilt, and we're going to talk about some of them. Generational messages. Maybe you grew up with a mom who sacrificed everything, or maybe you grew up vowing you'd do it differently. Either way, the message was, you'll never be enough. Good old social media. Instagram moms with their clean playrooms and toddlers eating kale. TikTok moms who seem to never yell. Pinterest classrooms that look like Pottery Barn. You see that stuff long enough and you start to think it's normal. But spoiler, it's not. Friends and family will make comments like, wow, must be nice to stay home, or you're going back to work already? These things stick like burrs. It's also coming from your own perfectionism. A lot of us were overachievers before kids, let's be honest. Straight-A students, promotions, gold stars, trying to make people happy. And then motherhood comes along and moving goalposts. Motherhood comes along with moving goalposts and no grades. No wonder we feel so lost. You'd think we'd be able to just roll our eyes and move on, but guilt is so sneaky. It pretends to be helpful. It whispers, if you feel bad enough, you'll do better tomorrow. But has guilt ever actually made you calmer, more patient, more present? No. If anything, it triggers me and sets me off. Guilt feeds on silence too. We don't talk about it because we assume everyone else has it together. So we carry it alone, convinced we're the only ones screwing up, but you're not. Mom guilt is not harmless. It has a cost. It burns you out because you never feel done. It makes you resentful of your kids or partner. It paralyzes you because no matter what you choose, you know you're going to feel guilty anyway. And maybe the hardest truth, our kids notice. If they watch you constantly apologize for existing, they learn that's what adulthood looks like. So how do we shut it down? Let's get practical. Here are 4 ways to start breaking up with mom guilt. Call out the lie. The next time guilt shows up, literally say, that's not truth, that's conditioning. Again, I always have a tip for you that sounds super cheesy, but naming it will shut it down. Check it against your values. Ask, did I actually go against my values or just society's rules? For example, if you yelled and it doesn't align with your value of kindness, then repair. But if you skipped a PTA meeting because you needed rest, that's culture, not core values. If you don't know what your core values are or you need a refresher, you can find that episode on my YouTube channel and on the podcast. Replace the guilt with compassion. Instead of punishing yourself, practice saying, I'm allowed to be tired. I'm still a good mom. Write your own scorecard. Choose 3 to 5 things that you believe make you a good mom. Not somebody else, you. Things like, I apologize when I mess up. I protect my mental health. My kids know they're loved. That's the only list that matters. Here's how this works in real life. You feel guilty for skipping bedtime stories. Guilt screams, bad mom, bad mom, bad mom. But your core value is connection. And connection doesn't only happen with a book. You can hug them, say I love you, or have a 2-minute chat. That still honors your value. The guilt was lying again. If this resonated with you, here is your homework. The next time guilt pops up, I want you to ask yourself, is this about my actual values, or is this just society talking? That one question alone can change everything. And please, don't be shy. I want to hear your story about mom guilt. Reach out and let's schedule a recording because your story can help another mom feel less alone. You can grab my free guide, What's Really Draining You? Spoiler, it's not just the kids, in the link in the show notes. And don't forget to subscribe or follow, leave a review, or share this with a mom who always thinks she's screwing it up because you are not defined by motherhood.